So this is my making the Raa Raa the lion video. This is the second video that I've made for this, just because I had quite a few comments saying the first one was a little bit too fast. So I've slowed it down for this one, and I've also added a bit of commentary as well. So, you know, please do always send me your comments and your feedback, and where I can, I will try and do what I can about them. So I've started with the colour fondant that I need to make Raa Raa the lion, and basically I've rolled out a round ball for his body and made it ever so slightly teardrop shaped. Then I've placed on top a lighter shade of yellow, just rolled out a little circle, and I've just pressed that on for his belly, as you can see on the screen there. Then I'm going to take more of the body colour and I'm going to roll it into a bit of a sausage shape and just nip around the bottom to create a foot-like shape. And then I'm just going to imprint the toes with a cocktail stick. And then repeat the same again for the other leg. Now, if it's not the right size straight away, that's fine. Roll it up and just try it again. Now, I realise it is still quite fast. Originally, I hadn't done this video as a tutorial. It was just so you could watch me making it. So I'm going to stick the legs on. I literally just use a little bit of water and press them into the side of his body like. Okay, so when you've got your legs on, I'm then creating the face. So again, starting with a circle, creating a bit of a teardrop shape, and then just indenting it a little bit around the top. Then I'm just adding his mouth with a cocktail stick and 2 eye holes with the bottom end of my paintbrush. Then I'm rolling a small amount of black fondant into a ball shape, which I'm then narrowing to be a bit more oval for his nose, and then 2 small balls in black fondant which are going into the eye sockets that you've just created, and I'm just sticking them in with water. Just rolling a really thin bit of black to stick over the mark that I've made where his mouth goes. Okay, so then what I'm going to do next is just dye some colour for his hair and his mane. And I realise you can't see the picture that I'm working off on here, but I literally did just print a picture of Raa Raa the lion off, as I always find it easier to work from a picture that I've got to hand as well. It makes it easier when you're looking at sizes, so you can compare that everything's in the right proportion. Okay, so the brown I've just mixed, I've made 2 little eyebrows from, so literally just 2 tiny little sausage shapes stuck above his eye. Okay, so next a really thin sausage of the body colour for his tail, and then a ball of the brown that we've made for the mane to go on the end of his tail. Again, it's just stuck on with a little bit of water. Now, I do try and leave things to harden a little bit when I'm making them, otherwise they end up too soft and they break as you're going along. So for the arms, again, start with a sausage shape, roll it out, leaving a sort of round bit at the end, which you can flatten down to make a hand, and the fingers are just created by, again, pushing in the cocktail stick at the end. So if it's the wrong size like mine was, just roll it up and start again. Just position it before you stick things on, you know, just position them where you want them to go and just check it does look all right before sticking things. And the same again for the other arm. So I've stuck both hands in place there. You can position them round while they're still wet a little bit. So next, I'm just making 2 balls that I'm rolling into the shapes for the ears. So I've just curved them a little bit by sticking the handle of my paintbrush in the centre to create like little curves out of them. So next, I'm using the brown I made earlier and just adding a bit more colour to it for his mane. Now his mane's made of 2 shades, so as you're going along, just compare your 2 shades to make sure they're not too similar so that you can tell the difference. Now, the brighter one now, I'm just adding stripes of that onto the end of the tail. So I'm just sticking them on, and then with a cocktail stick, I'm just putting lines in between the 2 colours so that there's a big sort of area of definition between them. So I'm mixing a bit more colour again. Okay, now because of the weight of the icing, what I've done for the centre of his head, I'm using a small polystyrene ball. So this figure isn't edible. You can do it fully with icing, but due to the weight and the size of his head compared to his body, I thought polystyrene would be better. Obviously you can use Rice Krispie treats instead. So what I've done was I've wrapped the main colour of hair around that polystyrene ball. Okay, and I'm just checking because where I've pulled it together it's left quite a bump, so I'm just trimming that down so that the face will fit on like the flat bit at the front of that mane. So I just keep holding it against it to check it fits, and I'm just going to reshape his head so that it does fit nicely on there, and then attaching it with a bit of water, pressing it down. And again, I'm just checking it all the time against the body to check that it's the right size. So creating indentations then for the ears where I want them to go. And then what I've done for his mane is I've marked in the lines where I want the different colours to go with a cocktail stick first. So I've put in little grooves all the way around so that I know exactly where my stripes of colour are going to go. So taking the brighter colour for the mane, literally just rolled it into thin strips and I'm pushing that in. Now I'm pushing it into the marks that we've made and the grooves, and then I'm re-pushing it again down the centre with a cocktail stick to create more lines on that bit of colour that we've just put on. And then when you've done an area of his head with the stripes on, you can stick his ear in again with a bit of water. So you just continue doing that all the way around, like what I'm doing. With the stripes, it doesn't matter if they're not identical to what they are on the picture either. It's just to give the impression that he has got two-tone stripes in his hair. So I've stuck the other ear on, continuing with the stripes still. Again, just checking it fits still. And what I'm going to do is pop his head on a cocktail stick, and then I'm going to put his head on his body. Now at the moment, because it hasn't set, it won't stay in place like that. So I'll just show you for now, but you'd let it dry and then attach the head properly. Thank you for watching. Please do subscribe to my channel for more videos and also visit my Facebook page.